What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Rob, and sitting to the right of me is
Scott. What's up, guys?
And today we're going to be talking about Code Geass. Yes. In Code Geass, we all know the main character, Lelouch. We want to basically discuss who has assisted him the most in his endeavors as being himself and also as playing the role of Zero. So, Scott, starting with you, who do you think helped Lelouch the most?
Well, by helped him the most, do you mean helped him bring down Britannia the most, or?
Lelouch had many different tasks that he wanted to get done, but that is one of the main ones. That actually is the
like his ultimate goal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, considering that question, you're gonna have to consider many different characters. There's a bunch of different main and side characters that have all helped him, sometimes drastically and sometimes not so much drastically. Maybe you'll see the help later on, a couple episodes down the road. But the one I'm gonna go with, who helped him the most, it might be the most obvious choice, but after serious consideration, I want to go with C.C. That's what I'm going with.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
You're going with C2?
Yes.
You're going with no. Absolutely not. But
who do you got?
But the answer is none other than Kallen Kouzuki. People who have watched Code Geass, unlike him, actually understand why Kallen Kouzuki is the most helpful to Lelouch. But let's go into why you have C2, because I'm lost right now. I mean, no, I'll let you handle this. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first and foremost, the most obvious reason, everybody knows this, C2 gave him the Geass.
Exactly. That's a big move.
Boom. All right. Second, C2 is his most trusted advisor throughout the whole show, every season. Sometimes knowing plans that even the Black Knights were not aware of. And my last point is just the amount of time she saved his life. I can count 4 offhand. There's probably more than that, but those are my reasons. She saved his life many times, gave him the Geass power, and is his most trusted advisor. What do you got?
I mean, listen. Listen. Yes, C2 has done many great things for Lelouch. You talk about her saving his life, and I'm not here to debate that. All right, she has done great things as an assistant towards Lelouch, as a guide, as a helper, and also a leader in some aspects. She's also she's not a bad pilot, but she's not the best pilot, but she gets the job done. But see, I don't know. I think the blunder of her, endangering herself by agreeing to meet up with Mao was a big thing, forcing Lelouch to kind of having to like intervene, and they became closer through that process, but it took her a little while to kind of warm up to Lelouch, and then she lost her memories, and then they had to get her memories back. But she, no doubt, in no way am I saying that she's not elite. She is elite, but when we're talking about Kallen Kouzuki, come on, man, stop it. First of all, she is the best pilot of the Black Knights.
Okay.
Hands down. If Suzaku came up, he was getting thrashed by Kallen. All right.
That's a fact.
Almost every single time. Yeah. Lelouch recognized her skill as the best pilot, which is why he made sure that she always had the most elite nightmare out of everybody. He made sure that hers was ready to go. He made sure that Rakshata was working on it. You know what I'm saying? She had all the most elite technology, elite attacks, elite equipment. And not only that, he appointed her as captain of the Zero Force, which is his own personal team that defends him. Why? Because again, Kallen is a beast when she's on the battlefield.
Yeah, we know the best pilot.
She is the best pilot.
Obviously.
Okay, and you want to talk about stuff that C2 has done for Lelouch? I want to mention that Kallen actually was even to do more. She was willing to do more. I mean, you're talking about a girl that literally said, "I will assassinate Suzaku at this party," pulled out a knife, it was ready to take his life 4-0. This is beyond anything that we've ever even really seen going on through the Ashford Academy. This is somebody that, was literally considered to be a student that was going to take her mission to the next level and get rid of one of those other students because of, war and everything else that was going on. I mean, she made the 4 holy swords look like Swiss cheese. She was just finding holes and blasting everybody. She was a complete beast. I like C2, all right? C2 has done a lot of good things, but she's not Kallen level, baby. Come on now. She is not Kallen level.
See, now, okay, you make some good points, all right? But I just have to interject, all right? Your points, she's the best pilot. Like, I agree. She's the ace of the survey call. Oh, wait. No, wrong debate. Wrong debate. Okay, this is most useful to Lelouch. All right,
he's thinking about Attack on Titan right now. This is why you cannot listen to him.
The most powerful pilot. This is not the most loyal. If that's what we were talking about, I'll be with you all day, all week, all year. Kallen is that. She is the most loyal. She's the best pilot in the series, arguably, but I would argue that point. However,
tread carefully.
However, I do not think that she is the most useful to Lelouch. She is his go-to soldier, all right? She is the hand that he needs to physically fight through battles, all right? He needs that. It's very important.
Right.
However, there are many situations where he's had to deal with things outside of battle, or situations where he's been caught up while Kallen was fighting Suzaku. And who came to help him out?
C2.
C2, yes. His advisor. His most trusted advisor who knows all of his plans. Even more so than Kallen.
But none of that matters though, because you gotta remember, C2 gave him the Geass, right? So a lot of Lelouch, right? So a lot of Lelouch's plans that were calculated through using the Geass power were of his own doing. C2 was kind of there to make sure that, if there's any bumps in the road, then she would interject. But when we're talking when we're talking about Kallen, I mean, there is nothing that is getting done with the Black Knights without Kallen. There is absolutely nothing. They're not moving. They're not fighting.
That's true.
She led every single operation. Okay? And it came to the point that she was so elite that when Lelouch had his whole Zero Requiem plan, to be the sacrificial lamb for the betterment of the world, what did we end up seeing? We ended up seeing Suzaku flip-flopping and switching teams because he was like, all right, I need somebody that's at least somewhat reminds me of Kallen's, skill level on the battlefield. And he got Suzaku to fulfill that role and play his part as a Knight of Zero. But when we're talking about Kallen, you can't really replace her. Because even though, there's situations where, Kallen has gotten kidnapped. When Kallen has gotten kidnapped, a lot of the operations literally stopped. Everything was done. And the function shut down. Lelouch's plans got, thwarted. Like, this is what we're talking about here. When C2 lost her memory, the Black Knights were still moving. Everything was still going along. Everything was still, fine and dandy. But when you're talking about Kallen getting kidnapped, everyone was running around like that episode on SpongeBob where he deleted all his memories and everything was going crazy. No one knew what to do. Ogie was lost. Like, this is because Kallen is a beast. He needed her. In every single facet, he needed her.
I mean, you got a good point. Honestly, I like Kallen more than C2. Way more. However, you're not convincing me that she's the most useful. You're not convincing me. I think she's a better character. Like, I like her a lot better. I really wanted it to be Kallen when I was doing my research. I really did. But it's not her, man. You're not convincing me. Without C2, Lelouch would have never even got to the point to kill the Emperor, all right? Like, she was so influential in the end game, the beginning of the show, the end of the show. Certain plot moves would have never even happened without C2. And I understand there's certain battles that would have never succeeded happened, or happened, period, without Kallen.
That's the debate.
That's the debate where we're at.
That's the debate. Yeah. Because in what have you need C2 or what have you need Kallen? But I think Kallen is more impactful. She's more important to the piece of the puzzle. Because as I've stated earlier, my man was about to take refrain. He was about to take a drug. He was just like, I don't even know. I just need to get my... Like, he was lost. He was lost without Kallen. Kallen had to come in there and stop him from using a drug. It was like, come on, pull yourself together. I'm here now. Because she's that elite. We gotta remember this, man. We gotta remember this. Kallen all the way.
I mean, you know, you make some good points. But at the end of the day, when Lelouch became the Emperor of Britannia, Kallen had no idea what the hell was going on. She thought he had betrayed the Black Knights. She thought it was over. She thought she was going to have to take up, you know, the mantle and, you know, carry it on. C2 knew the whole time what was going on, right? She knew. She was involved. She was in the planning. She was in the process. She was there, all right? At that point, Kallen, her use had diminished. She wasn't as useful as she used to be.
Because Lelouch purposely kept her out of the loop because he didn't want to involve her. Because if he told Kallen what was going on, Kallen would have been there to stop everything and try to protect Lelouch. This is why Lelouch purposely did not inform her on the situation, because she's that helpful towards him. All right, that's the point. Like, he did not even want her to be notified about what was going on, because he knew how much she would have tried to help him. And in her help, you know, she would have endangered her own life, and he did not want that. So he knew C2 was fine. C2's practically immortal. Like, he knew everything was fine.
Well, I think I'm just gonna have to agree to disagree. You make some good points. But honestly,
I thought I had you, man. I thought I had you.
You make some very good points, but honestly, I'm not convinced. You guys are gonna have to help us out with that.
Definitely.
Let us know who's the most useful to Lelouch in Code Geass. By the way, it is CC. But you know, let us know why you think it's CC in the comments below.
It's Kallen. Don't listen to him.
It's all right. So CC, nice. All right.
And with that, we're signing out.